This 2022 season just doesn't look like it's doing any of our favorites any favors. From Serena choosing to evolve into a new phase of life, to Federer's withdrawals, Rafa's injuries, and now Djokovic's absence from yet another competition, we've got our hands full. We already saw him missing 2 major tournaments because of his issue with vaccination, and we've got the news that he's also choosing to withdraw from the Davis Cup. Let's find out more, starting with Noel's decision to withdraw. Djokovic's tumultuous year has included missing many major tournaments, including the Australian Open in January due to his deportation the day before the tournament began. This was because he had not had the COVID-19 vaccine, which also kept him from competing in the Miami, Indian Wells, and US Open events. On a bright spot, though, Djokovic's Wimbledon victory brought his total number of Grand Slam titles to 21, but troubles still haven't ended for him, as the 21-time Grand Slam winner has withdrawn from the Davis Cup and cited personal reasons for his departure from the squad. For the Group B matchups against Spain, Korea, and Canada this coming month, he was slated to captain his team, but it looks like that won't be happening now. Serbian captain Viktor Trojki confirmed the news to Sportski Journal, saying Noel will not play for personal reasons. It's his personal matter. Simply, this time he will be prevented from playing, but he will join the national team if we qualify for the final tournament in Malaga in November. Following up, here's how the season has been for him so far. As a result of his deportation drama, Djokovic has missed a number of important tournaments this year. After an intense visa drama, the reigning champion was eventually allowed to travel without having had the COVID-19 vaccine. But that wasn't the end of it. He has plummeted from world number 1 to number 6 in recent months, having been banned from the US Open and other ATP 1000 tournaments in Montreal and Cincinnati leading up to the year's last Grand Slam. Plus, he isn't presently participating in the US Open due to America's ban on unvaccinated persons entering the country. There will be no such limitations in place in Spain, yet the 35-year-old won't be partaking. We are told that Mojmir Kecmanovic, Filip Krajinovic, Laslo Djere, Dusan Lajovic, and Nikola Cacic will play in the Davis Cup now. Moving on, what's next in store for Noel? The next tournament on Djokovic's schedule, according to his official website, is the Laver Cup, which will take place from September 23rd to 25th at London's O2 Arena. Following that is an ATP 250 tournament in Tel Aviv, and then the Paris Masters, which is set to take place in late October. Group B consists of Spain, South Korea, and Canada, in addition to Serbia. The quarterfinals will be played in Malaga, Spain in November, and will include the top 2 teams from each of the 4 groups. Not to mention, what does that say for the tournament? The fact that Djokovic won't be there is a punch to the organizers, particularly because Rafael Nadal has already said he won't be there either. Indeed, Nadal will not be making his first Davis Cup debut since Spain's 5th straight title in 2019. In its place, Spain will turn to adolescent star Carlos Alcaraz. From September 13th through 18th, Sergei Bergera's squad will compete in Group B against Canada, Serbia, and South Korea in Valencia. Only the top 2 teams from each of the 4 groups will advance to the November knockout stage in Malaga. Since June, when he was in the semi-finals at Roland Garros versus Nadal and suffered a terrible ankle injury, Zverev has not played. Nonetheless, the world's number 2 will play in Hamburg for the Group C matches against France, Belgium, and Australia. At the 2015 finals in Glasgow, Andy Murray will be representing the victorious British team as they take on Kazakhstan, the United States, and the Netherlands. Andy Murray, Cameron Norrie, Dan Evans, and Joe Salisbury are among the members of Great Britain's squad who will compete in Glasgow. Murray, who will be participating in the tournament for the first time in 3 years, says he's excited to be back with the squad. Up next, some are saying it's because of an injury. Not long after the announcement, fans noticed the 21-time major champion sporting a bandage on his left wrist. Now, there's still no clarity on this rumor. Some say this rumor could be just that, a pointless rumor, while others believe that the 21-time Grand Slam winner might actually be injured and keeping it undercover. Whatever the case is, one thing is for sure. The entire 2022 season has been pretty tough on him, excluding the Wimbledon win against Kyrgios, of course. Understandably, the news left tennis fans devastated on social media, with many hoping he wasn't carrying any form of injury. Now, in other news. First off, Nick Kyrgios had another one of his violent meltdowns. Nick Kyrgios was eliminated from the quarterfinals of the US Open after after a remarkable 5-set match that culminated in a frenzied racket-smashing outburst on the court. After losing 7-5, 4-6, 6-7, 6-4, Kyrgios complimented his opponent Karen Khachanov and the umpire for their efforts. He then broke 2 rackets in a violent tantrum. He broke another racket in the middle of a game, then crushed a water bottle during a timeout, spraying liquid all over the court. Kyrgios' inability to manage his emotions on the big stage resurfaced, costing him in the end. He was broken twice when serving to send a set to a tiebreak, and both times he made vital errors that lost him the match. Many tennis fans were dismayed by the unseemly conclusion to the Australian's otherwise magnificent run at the US Open. After the game, his emotions were already running high, leaving his audience completely broken. Nick Kyrgios gave one of his career's most emotionally charged news conferences. Kyrgios said that his defeat to the cool Russian in 5 sets was not due to a knee injury he sustained in the first set, insisting instead that he was feeling terrific physically towards the match's end. Kyrgios spoke painfully when he asked whether losses hurt more now that he knows he can go far in major events. He said, "I honestly feel like I've let so many people down," adding he was mentally devastated by the defeat. Up next, Nadal's surprising statement after recent loss. Nadal, a 4-time US Open winner seeking his 23rd Grand Slam title, was eliminated in the round of 16 by the 26th-ranked TFO, who won 6-4, 4-6, 6-4, 6-3. In a free-flowing performance, the American smashed 18 aces and 49 winners, easily outpacing a lethargic Nadal at Arthur Ashe Stadium. After winning the Australian and French Opens in 2021, Nadal suffered his first Grand Slam defeat of 2022 at Wimbledon, when he had to withdraw due to an abdominal ailment. The loss stopped a streak of 16 consecutive Grand Slam tournaments in which the Spaniard reached the semifinals. Although his 2 Grand Slam victories put him above Novak Djokovic in the rankings, his physical weaknesses have come back to bother him. In March, Nadal had a stress fracture in his rib cage, and in June, he won his 14th French Open championship despite needing daily pain-killing injections in his left foot. Then, he suffered an abdominal ailment that ended his hopes of winning a 3rd Wimbledon title. The impending arrival of Nadal's first child will significantly impact his preparations for the next tennis season. He said, "Now I have to go home. I have more important things than tennis to attend to." Rafa is expected to make his comeback to competition on September 23rd at the Laver Cup in London. This November, he will compete in the ATP Tour Finals in Turin, where he has already qualified. He has expressed uncertainty about his intentions for the future, although he has not ruled out returning to competition this year, according to reports from Spain. Finally, Margaret Court is not happy with Serena. Margaret Court, a tennis icon from Australia, has spoken out against Serena Williams after the American superstar announced her retirement. During her unequaled career in the 1960s and 1970s, Court won a record 24 Grand Slam tournaments. In 1970, she became the first woman in tennis history to win a calendar Grand Slam. However, in recent years, the devoted Christian's accomplishments have been eclipsed by her outspoken opposition to same-sex marriage and advocacy of homosexual conversion therapy. Court will retain the Grand Slam record. Williams, 40, had long sought after the American's retirement after her 3rd-round loss to Australian Ajla Tomljanovic at the US Open. Despite reaching 4 more finals and 2 more semifinals over the subsequent 5 years, Williams remained stuck on 23 Grand Slam victories after failing to defend her Australian Open title in 2017. Though she did not win, Williams was honored as the greatest of all time, GOAT, by the US Open before each of her last US Open matches. As reported by The Telegraph UK, Court said that she always admired Serena, but Serena never returned the feeling. Williams was defeated by Tomljanovic, and Court was not happy with her post-match comments. She expressed disappointment that Williams did not make greater mention of her rival during her remarks. The court said that they had been instructed to provide a good example for the younger generation. Their instructors drilled into them the need to respect their adversary. In other words, she felt like Serena should have paid more respect to her opponent. Anyway, it's a wrap for this one. What do you think about the sudden announcement from Noel? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to like and subscribe to our channel. See you in the next one.